What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. Now, I know some of you may be asking, what the hell am I doing putting out a random video on a Monday when I always put my videos out at noon on Saturdays and Sundays with an occasional Friday release? But like I mentioned in my video yesterday, I have sprained my right elbow. I got it out of the wrap, airing out a little bit, and I had some time off work. And when I woke up today, truth be told, it was just hurting pretty bad, and I called into my job and I said, hey, can I have just one more day off, just to rest up a little more, maybe ice it a little more, because that's something I was lacking doing, to ice it and whatnot. And my boss made it very clear. He says, you got one more day. So here I am. I've just been sitting back chilling, watching some old Pride FC fights and whatnot, and I still had all my equipment set up from yesterday, and I got this idea for this video, and I figured, why not? I'm just going to hop on here real quick and mention 5 horror movies that I think are underrated that you should watch. And, a lot of these movies, these 5 that I'm going to show you, certain ones have kind of cult following and stuff like that, but I think the way I'm going to categorize it is enough people don't talk about these films. I think these are all really, really good, and maybe there's one in this little stack of 5 that some of you guys have never seen, and you'll check out and end up loving them just like me. So with that being said, let's hop right into it with 5 underrated horror movies I think you should watch. So first of all, this is an Arrow video release. This came out not too long ago, and this is The Vagrant. Right here, the original artwork. Does anybody else, if they get the slip, put the original artwork on the bottom and then keep the new stuff, on the slip? I like the little contrast, but this is a movie with Bill Paxton in it, and in a lot of ways, you can't necessarily categorize this as like pure horror. It's kind of got a lot of thriller elements, but it's really fun too. A lot of comedic elements in this. Pretty much, Bill Paxton is kind of like a pushover in his daily life, and he gets like talked into buying this house by like the real estate person. It's going to be like his starter home and everything, and he's got this love interest that's going to come visit him and everything, and life is good until he notices this vagrant, this bum that is camped out across the street like in this field. And the bum ends up like coming into the house to get water in the middle of the night and stuff. Must think nobody lives there still or whatnot. So this turns into a movie where Bill Paxton snitches on this bum that calls the police on him. And the bum starts kind of harassing him and everything. And it gets real fun because it kind of twists into like the psychological thriller in a strange way, where it's one of those films where you don't know if these things are really happening or he's just dreaming this or coming up with the ideas in his head, because he slowly starts to twist into madness. And I throw this on the list because it was an easy watch, fun, kind of a creative idea, and this is definitely a Bill Paxton movie I never hear anybody talk about. I think this one was a lot of fun, and a pretty cool slip cover too. I do like me some slips. Alright, and next up is a zombie movie. I have mentioned this one before. I absolutely love this. This is The Battery. It's a Scream Factor release that I need to get a new case for. But this is really fun. It follows 2 like former baseball players, 2 best friends during like the apocalypse, and they're just kind of drifting through, America. It's been a while since I've seen it. I'm not sure what they're looking for, food, supplies, whatnot. And they have a contrast in their personalities, where one friend is like coping with this in bad ways. He can't believe the apocalypse has happened, everyone's dying, and then the other guy is kind of like a drifter. He doesn't mind going from one spot to another. So pretty much one guy wants to settle down and find a piece of, something that's familiar, comfort, while the other guy has no problem being like a nomad, just on this journey and everything. And what I really like about this movie is I feel the lack of budget made for more dialogue in important parts. And if that makes sense, because I think some of the best zombie movies, like look at Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, a lot of it is based on like the trauma of the situation and the people getting into it, where they become the real monsters, and the zombies are almost the back piece. Like that was what was good about The Walking Dead until they leaned too much into that, and then nothing ever fucking happened on the show. But this is a lot of fun, just the interaction between the 2 friends, and the final scene they get. I don't want to give too much away, but I'll just say it. So I guess I am going to give it all away. They get trapped in this car without the keys, and they have to stay in there for like the whole 3rd act, which is something I've never seen in a zombie movie. All the zombies are banging on the windows night and day, and they really got to come to terms with their differences and find a way to fight out of the situation, which I just think it's a fun twist on zombie movies. Plus, the character development between these 2 guys, like you can feel the tension. They're like the last 2 guys in the world, pretty much. Very, very fun zombie movie. The next up is one I have preached about a lot, and this is free on YouTube right now because I feel a lot of people really don't like this movie. Bill Heinzman, Flesh Eater. Flesh Eater. So, I don't give a shit, man. Anyways, he plays the original zombie in the original Night of the Living Dead. And this was his take on it, like how the zombie apocalypse started. And this isn't going to win an Oscar or nothing. This is not a good movie per se. But I really like the concept of this. It starts with like a groundskeeper digging up Heinzman, who is the graveyard zombie, like I said. And he attacks the gravesman. And then you got two zombies. And then they attack some teens, and then you got this many zombies, and it goes victim to victim to victim. So it's the same plot and narrative that we know happens in zombie movies, but it's kind of almost like a prequel to Night of the Living Dead in a way where it shows like just one zombie. And I love how all the zombies you see in this moving forward aren't extras. They're all zombies you've seen get killed on screen, and then you can kind of see how like it creates like an army of the dead and whatnot. And the thing that stands out the most to me, here's the zombies on the back. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome, beautiful release as always, but I love the special effects in this. This is a very gory movie, great practical effects, and the kills just keep coming and coming and coming. There's a point where some people barricade themselves up to hide away from the few zombies there are, and the first time I seen it, I go, what? You know, we're at the end of the first act, and this is going to be the rest of the movie, them barricaded in the house, but no. The zombies come in there, clean house, and you just move on to new groups of people as they all just keep becoming victims. There's some fun humor in this, and like I said, just a bloody good time. I'm from England, a bloody good time. All right, and here is one that surprised the hell out of me, the hell high out of me. That is Arrow Video's release of Hell High. This is not what I expected it would be whatsoever. Hell High. I know this has a different name. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head, but this almost has like Class of 1984 kind of vibe to it, where this teacher's just getting shit from these students right here on the cover, and they're harassing her to the point they break into her house and do some terrible things. Think Class of 1984. And she kind of turns around and goes on a killing spree. But, you know, not much more to say about this one. It just really caught me off guard, and it's really hit or miss when you grab these slashers from Arrow Video, like what's Lover's Lane is one I watched in October. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. But this one, knocked it right out of the park. Absolutely amazing movie. Like I said, you would think it's just a slasher, but it's way more than that, and it went in different directions that I didn't see coming. So, Hell High. And last but not least, this is probably the most well-known out of the titles I'm talking about, and that is Curse of Chucky. This is absolutely amazing. I still haven't watched it, which I really need to pop it in. I think I was watching them all in a row, and I got to Seed of Chucky, and I kind of just stopped. Now, I know this movie got a lot of praise when it first came out, but I think not a lot of people talk about it much anymore. This is the first one, after Bride and Seed, where it kind of came back to like the more serious tone, where it was more actually scary. Like this and Cult of Chucky are both more scary horror movies. I don't get scared by much, but you know what I mean, the tone. And where Cult can kind of get a little zany, kind of like how the series gets. This one is absolutely serious, and it has Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif's daughter, in here. She makes her debut in the franchise, and I absolutely love her so much. She's so good when she's playing the role, like impersonating her dad and everything. But in this one, she plays a woman that's in a wheelchair, and the Chucky doll, I believe, gets mailed to her or something, and it's just a really fun cat and mouse game, because it's kind of like the odds are even, because you always hear the cliche like, oh, I'm not scared of Chucky, I'll just kick him across the room or whatever. But the fact that she's in this wheelchair and she's got to go up and down like this elevator when the power's going out and stuff, it just adds like a really good cat and mouse element to it. And Chucky is scary again in this movie. Chucky is a fucking badass. I love Child's Play, honestly, man. It's funny when people talk about some of these big franchises, like say like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween. There are a lot of bad movies in those franchises. The best franchise I think is Friday the 13th, because the original Paramount 8 are unbelievable, but or Evil Dead, there hasn't been as many, but there's never been a bad Evil Dead movie. But don't sleep on Child's Play, because though a lot of people don't like part 3, 1 through 3 is great. Bride of Chucky is some people's favorite movie. Seed of Chucky is absolute dog shit. If you like it, cool, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding, but Curse of Chucky is great. Cult of Chucky is just okay, but This one is very underrated and a very fun movie, going back to the basics, actually being scary again like the first one was. But, yeah, with that being said, those are my 5 recommendations of underrated horror movies. And I noticed when I was stacking these up next to me to do this video, they all match the red spine. I didn't do that on purpose, but that's how you know you're a physical media dork. Like me, I found that really fucking cool. So, anyways, Hell High, Flesh Eater, Battery. Sounds like I got a battery in there. Got my cat hair on this now. God damn it. Damn it, Bobby. The Vagrant. And Curse of Chucky. Yeah, so let me know if you've seen any of these movies and what you think. And if you give them a chance and watch any of these, let me know in the comments once you're done what you thought of the films. But anyways, this quick little video I went to make is almost 12 minutes. So with that being said, Blood, Guts, Gore. I'll check you guys next time.